He's a predator and he deserves to be locked up. His son is a predator.
Janice, how are you feeling?
Do an interview with me and learn. Your son is a predator.
King, how you doing this morning? How's it going, Justin? Quincy, how you feeling this morning? How are the twins?
Did Jay reach out yet?
Nah, Pop, he ghosting.
What this motherfucker doing? These things tweeting out because I'm in here.
It's all good. You about to get out on bail.
Just when you thought things couldn't get any crazier, Sean Diddy Combs is back in court yet again. But this time, he wasn't alone. His mother, Janice Combs, and his children, Justin, Christian, and Quincy, were in the courtroom showing their support.
Well, Stephen, Natasha, this was Sean Diddy Combs' third time in the courthouse you see right behind me, his first time before a new judge. They did handle these calendar matters and also set that May 5th, 2025 date for the trial to begin. But what was most striking was that his mother, Janice Combs, who's been with him his whole life, flew up from Florida to be with him, as did most of his children, in a show of support. Sean Combs' son Christian, known professionally as King Combs, held his grandmother's hand as they left the courthouse with his other siblings.
We want to hear from you. Anything you want to say at this point.
Judge Arun Subramanian acknowledged that his mother Janice Combs came from Florida for her son and that his kids also traveled to be in the same courtroom with him. Combs' attorney Anthony Rico sat by his side throughout the proceeding. He's handling the appeal of his bail denial, which is a separate case in the appeals court.
He's making an adjustment. He had his family here today to support him. We really want to put an end to all of the clowning that we see on the internet. This is a serious proceeding with serious consequences.
The judge set a trial date of May 5th, 2025. The lead federal prosecutor took issue with Combs' attorney Mark Agnefilo's extensive comments in a TMZ documentary, alleging the government was guilty of racial bias and targeting Combs. Agnifilo complained about government leaks to the media. The result was a mutual gag order.
I made a request for the judge to issue what we call the gag order. And the judge is going to issue it on a reciprocal basis. So I'm not going to say anything that I didn't say in my papers and in court.
Women's rights attorney Gloria Allred represents some of the accusers of Combs in civil cases and spoke outside the court.
It's challenging because for many of them, remembering what they allege he did to them is triggering and traumatizing.
Now, a date of December 18th was set for the next status conference. For now, Combs is back at MDC. He's been denied bail twice. His last hope of getting out before that May 2025 trial date beginning is for the appeals court to reverse the bail denial, and that could happen anytime within the next couple of weeks.
Diddy's mom, Janice Combs, has spoken out in defense of her son, asserting he's not a monster and that he did nothing wrong. Her attorney has even released a statement on her behalf to clarify her stance.
Sean Diddy Combs' mom is coming to her son's defense. Amid her son's legal troubles, Janice Small Combs is speaking out on behalf of their family, claiming the charges against the music mogul have been blown out of proportion. Through her attorney, Natalie G. Figures, in a statement on her behalf to The Hollywood Reporter October 6, she says, quote, "To bear witness what seems to be like a public lynching of my son before he has had the opportunity to prove his innocence is a pain too unbearable to put into words. Like every human being, my son deserves to have his day in court, to finally share his side and to prove his innocence." Janice's statement comes as Diddy remains behind bars following his September 16th arrest on charges of trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Since then, 120 people have also come forward with new assault allegations against the music producer.
As Diddy faces 7 more new civil lawsuits, he's going to need all the support he can get.
Now to Sean Diddy Combs. The music mogul is facing a series of new civil lawsuits, including allegations he assaulted 2 teenagers. Our senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky has the details. Aaron, good morning.
Good morning, Whit. This new batch of civil lawsuits accuses Sean Combs of drugging and assaulting 7 more alleged victims. One of them says she was 13 at the time and certain celebrities were there watching. This morning, a new civil lawsuit alleges Sean Diddy Combs assaulted a then 13-year-old girl after the VMAs in the year 2000.
All right, we'll be back.
Combs attended the award show with his then girlfriend, Jennifer Lopez. The lawsuit says Diddy's driver invited the alleged victim to an after-party, telling her Combs liked younger girls and saying she fit what Diddy was looking for. At the party, the lawsuit says the teen accepted a drink and went to lie down, feeling woozy and lightheaded. Combs allegedly grabbed the teen, saying, "You are ready to party." The lawsuit says the teen was assaulted by a male, identified as Celebrity A, while Combs and a female, identified as Celebrity B, watched. Combs then allegedly assaulted her, while celebrities A and B watched. The new civil lawsuits accuse Combs of assaults over more than 2 decades, from 2000 to 2022. Alleged victims include a then 17-year-old male who says Combs molested him at a party in New York, and a man who says Combs assaulted him at a party in Los Angeles. The man says he took this photo of the vodka Combs served him to document the alleged encounter. Combs' legal team did not directly respond to the new allegations, but pointed ABC News to a prior statement that says the truth will prevail, that Mr. Combs has never assaulted anyone, adult or minor, man or woman. And overnight, attorneys for Combs also asked the judge overseeing his criminal prosecution to silence the plaintiffs in these civil lawsuits, who they said have made shockingly prejudicial and false allegations of assault and abuse of minors. Guys.
Diddy's son might soon be making his own trips to the courthouse, and not just to support his dad. Christian Combs, aka King Combs, now has his own legal storm brewing, and it's not looking good.
When attorney Tyrone Blackburn, the man already representing Rodney Jones, filed a civil complaint on behalf of his client, Grace O'Markey. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing her last name, but I believe it is O'Markey. Grace O'Markey in Los Angeles Superior Court, accusing 26-year-old Christian Combs of drugging her and assaulting her in December of 2022 when she was working in a charter boat in St. Martin. So according to the lawsuit, O'Markey says that she had been working as a steward, providing food and drinks on that yacht for a 12-hour period, and she was 25 years old at the time. She believed that the trip would be a, quote, wholesome family excursion, but says it, quote, turned into a hedonistic environment, even describing rampant drug use among workers and celebrities who came on board. She believes that the alcohol on the yacht had been laced with drugs because she says women would have one drink and then almost immediately pass out or start falling over. This is, by the way, something that it was also alleged in Jones's lawsuit, that Combs would spike the drinks of different people. But focusing on Christian Combs, O'Markey says that Christian Combs had been staying at a villa on the shore, but that he would come onto the yacht in the evening to party. And on December 28, 2022, Christian reportedly arrived very intoxicated and then proceeded to pressure O'Markey to take shots of tequila. She did. Christian allegedly tried to get her to drink more in the yacht's makeshift studio. O'Markey alleges that Christian kissed her neck, kissed her face, as he groped her legs, breasts, and private areas. O'Markey reportedly told Christian, quote, "Excuse me, you don't touch my legs like that. I'll move my legs where I want to. If I want to do this, then I will. You don't touch my legs like that." O'Markey then says that she told Christian she couldn't stay with him unless it was approved by a supervisor, all of whom she knew would be asleep at the time, so this was a way for her to get out of the situation. She claims that Christian said, "Who can I talk to? I'm going to say I requested you right now." O'Markey then says she responded with, quote, "Well, you can take your hand off my ass for the first thing." O'Markey says that she tried to go back to her work, but Christian found her again, wanted her to find him a place to sleep for the night. So she ended up taking him to the cinema room for the yacht, which doubled as a place for people to sleep. And she claims that is when Christian blocked her and groped her, took off his clothes, tried to force her to perform oral on him. She says that she was able to fight him off until someone came in. Now, the lawsuit goes on to say that O'Markey told the yacht captain what happened the very next day, but he didn't believe her, didn't do any sort of real investigation. She says the captain retaliated against her for months after the alleged assault, before ultimately firing her in May of 2023. Now, aside from her account, aside from a potential other witness, right, the person that allegedly walked in on this, what proof is there that this happened? Well, she reportedly has photos of the bruises that she says were caused by this event with Christian Combs. But she also claims that in that studio, during that first interaction at the time, was Rodney Jones, that former Diddy music producer I mentioned, the one who is suing Diddy. He's known as Little Rod Jones. Remember, he had been basically living with Diddy while the two worked on his latest album. As we discussed on previous sidebars, Jones made multiple allegations against Diddy in his own lawsuit, saying that there was rampant drinking, drug use, sexual assault during Diddy's parties. He claims that he was groped by Diddy, that he was the victim of trafficking as he was forced to engage in acts with workers. He even claims that Diddy groomed him for and facilitated for him to be abused by actor Cuba Gooding Jr. He also claims that there are hours of audio and video footage documenting Diddy's alleged crimes and misconduct. And according to Miss Omarkey, Jones taped this event with her. Yes, the lawsuit provides transcripts of audio recordings, and these audio recordings purportedly show, or you can hear, kissing sounds, her telling Combs not to touch her, her allegedly asking about whether she was drugged. Now, we haven't heard these tapes here on Law and Crime yet, but if they are what they purport to be, that is a huge piece of evidence. And remember, when we're talking a civil case, we're talking lawsuits, the burden of proof is much lower than a criminal case. It's just preponderance of the evidence, more likely than not that this happened.
It's not exactly shocking. Whispers about Christian's involvement in Diddy's freak-off parties have been around for a while. Several attendees have come forward to reveal what goes on behind closed doors at these parties. Here's what one attendee had to say.
So we get there, and that's when stuff got weird. And that's why they lock up our phones, because they know what we see in there, you know, it's he can get in trouble, like right now. So basically, we arrived, security guard patted us down. They put our phone in this little bubble case. So the bubble case is closed. They can't get unlocked until we walk out. So I'm walking around or whatever. So one of his sons, I'm not gonna tell you which one, but it was like recruiting like whoever they wanted to go inside the house, because the freak off is inside the house and in the backyard. I'm like, okay, let me just go in the house. So I told my friend, like, wait right here, girl, let me just put on these shoes, see what this house is about. Walk up in there. I don't judge people, because at the time I was just smoking weed. But you know when people are out of their mind, and you know when people, you know what you don't want to be a part of. And it's just like, I'm seeing stuff that you see on the movies. This corner, this got going on. This corner, they over here doing this. This corner, they over there having this corner, I'm just going to say, because I don't know what I can say, because I'm not trying to be incriminating myself, but they were dressed up like little Harajuku Barbies.
Like what?
Little people, okay? We're not going to say what type of little people, but like a fetish. And I'm looking like, what are they doing here? Like dressed up, little red lipstick, like they weren't supposed to be there. But I'm just looking like maybe it's some type of production going on. But why would they be at this party at 7 o'clock in the morning with grown people? Like why would they be here? So I just, why me go in the house and why not the girl? So now you're picking and choosing. So it's fishy to me. So when all this stuff started coming out, I was like, I knew I was right. I knew it. Like, it ain't no doubt about that P. Diddy was doing all that. And like I say, I don't judge, because I've been around people doing cocaine, but these hard drugs that they was doing, and just, I ain't gonna lie, it was orgies and stuff going on. So all of this stuff going on, I'm like, why is people doing stuff all in the open? Like, that's just offending me and assaulting me, period.
If you thought the Combs family had a lot on their plate, wait till you hear about the leaked phone call. Someone recorded Diddy's call from jail to his son, where he casually told him to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes.
But let's break down this phone call from prison where it seems like he's talking to his son, and the call is very difficult to understand. I don't know if it's something about the jail phone systems, but either way, we're going to try to break down every single word. But I believe that they're talking in code because I can't understand what he's trying to say.
What up? Yo, listen. Do not entertain none of this nonsense and nothing over the phone.
Here Diddy's being kind of smart because he knows everybody records prison phone calls, so he definitely knows that he can't say anything specific about the case, and you could tell by the rest of the conversation that he wants to make sure that they don't know what he's talking about.
I'm gonna need you to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes.
The what?
All the boxes left over from the pizza. All the boxes.
So here we got Diddy talking in code about pizza boxes. I'm not sure what the reference is and what its actual code name for, but he's mentioning pizza and boxes separate, so I don't know what the pizza stands for, and I don't know what the boxes stand for. If anybody knows what this means, leave it in the comments so we could talk about it. And also, remember, this is just a legal disclaimer. Everything is alleged. We're not saying any of this is true. We're just reacting to something that we found on the internet.
Okay. Make sure you recycle the plastic like we talked about.
Yeah.
It's obvious Diddy knew he was going in, and he had all this already set up on the outside for his son. And plastic could mean CDs. If he had some, videos on CDs or videos on flash drives, they're made of plastic. Even hard drives, a lot of them are made of plastic. So that could be what he's referencing. It could be a memory card. SD cards are made of plastic. So all that kind of lines up with what he's trying to say, which is get rid of the footage.
Weird, right? This odd request has people buzzing, with some speculating it might be linked to the infamous Pizzagate conspiracy theory. And that's not all. Diddy also asks if Jay has reached out yet. Many are wondering if this Jay might be referring to none other than Jay-Z.
Did Jay reach out yet?
Nah, Pop. He ghosting.
What this motherfucker doing? These things tweeting now because I'm in here.
It's all good. You about to get out on bail.
Now, there's definitely a lot to unpack here. He asked him if Jay reached out. We don't know who that is, but he doesn't specify Z at the end of it, so I think we could assume who it is, but we're not exactly sure. And Diddy sounding very upset. It could definitely tell me one thing, that he had a backup plan in place, and apparently this Jay person did not do what was supposed to happen because he's expecting something to happen and they didn't come through. And not exactly sure of the timing of this call, but obviously it seems that it's before the second time that he was denied bail, right? Because they thought he was gonna get out?
No, hey yo, check this out. Need you to reach out to the producer. Let these motherfuckers know there's a release date for that new Netflix movie.
Alright, Pop. It's fucking crazy right now.
Okay, so there's a lot going on here, but I could definitely tell that saying the Netflix movie is definitely associated with a freak off videotape. That's pretty easy to put together. I don't know who this producer person is. That might be the one who's holding the tapes, maybe? I mean, it's pretty obvious, I think, but he's not really spelling it out. And actually, there was a lawyer going on news stations telling everybody there's multiple tapes are being shopped out. So this could be before that happened. And maybe that's his way of like keeping people silent by just letting people know that the tapes are out there ready to be dropped.
It's fucking crazy right now.
And then you could tell by his voice, his son King Combs does not seem like he's okay with what's happening because a lot is being put on their names at once. And we know because we could see it on TV every day. So he's kind of dealing with it without trying to say it to his dad.
Everybody out there quiet as a motherfucker.
Yeah,
exactly. We gonna let them have their little fun, but I'm still gonna have the last laugh.
Nah, what he's saying here is something that everybody's been saying, yo. None of the celebrities that were very close to him over the years, who've been all over videos and stuff, have said anything. Even when asked about it, Kevin Hart didn't say nothing. Rihanna, Jay-Z, Beyonce. A lot of these people have been stone silent. So because of that, I'm starting to think that, does he really have something on these people or not? Because he's pretty confident, even in jail from a phone call, which is kind of Diddy's MO. He's always been overly confident anyway.
What about all these lawsuits though, Pop?
Ain't none of them getting shit. I ain't worth nothing. Ain't got shit in my name anyway. Don't even worry about it. Bunch of money hungry and shit.
So I guess Diddy here is calming down his son. He's pretty much not worried about the lawsuits at all. He looks like he doesn't plan on paying anyone to settle. And you know what's weird is that there was a clip from Mace where he said that nothing is in Diddy's name either, which is strange. So you can't really sue him for anything.
I did this. You told me he wanted receipts. Let's start with your mother, nigga. Your mother got the receipts. Yeah, everything is in your mother's name. That's the one who got the receipts.
All this courtroom drama has folks questioning whether Janice's influence shaped Diddy into who he is today, and no one seems to have stronger opinions on this than Gene Deal. He goes as far as to bring up some unusual details about Diddy and Janice's relationship, questioning just how much Janice knew about Diddy's freak-off parties and the kinds of guests he would invite. Gene even makes a bold claim that their mother-son bond seems a little off.
My guy, Gene Deal, happy to have you back on the platform, man. We got a lot to get into, man. Diddy mom, she came out defending her son, man. How you feel about that? She made a comment saying that he's not a monster.
I guess this is my newfound career, so I'm gonna say what's on my mind and what I think, brother. First of all, that's his mother. Wrong, right, or indifferent, she gonna lie, steal, kill, and protect her child. That's what she's supposed to do. But the apple don't fall far from the tree, man. You gotta realize that. You know, he didn't get all this from his daddy, because he didn't know his daddy, even though they try to say his daddy was some big time drug dealer in the whole 9 yards. You understand? He didn't get this from his daddy. You gotta realize, man, you know, his mother had a modeling agency, and it was alleged that it was also ladies of the night, a prostitution ring too, or these ladies was doing things other than modeling. So the apple don't fall far from the tree. Yeah. So now you got to understand this, and looking at her and some of the stuff that he was saying, and their relationship has changed since I knew them, since I was around them. You understand? This man was talking about that his mother could take her palms and bend over and put them down on the floor. Not bend over, but she could stand straight up and put her palms on the floor, bruh. He's saying that about his mother. Who describes any of their mother actions like that in a way? And then, you know, I don't know how many dudes do kiss their mother in their mouth when they 50, 60 years old or something like that. That's them, that's their whole thing, man. But that was a little kind of weird for me. And then his mother wore the same white fingernail polish that Cassie described that he liked to see her and other models in when she was describing her lawsuit. And what's crazy to me is that, man, it seemed like him and his mother had this, I don't want to get too deep, man, this Oedipus complex thing. You know what I mean? And a lot of people going to say, yo, Oedipus complex. Well, let me just tell you a brief story so you'll know. Oedipus was, it may have been Greek mythology, or it was probably Greek mythology or something like that, but it's a story about a young man that was told that he was going to kill his father and marry his mother. So on the way, this young man had grown up, you know, he didn't know that he was an orphan and then was adopted by a family. He thought the family he was with was his mother and father, but it wasn't. So on the way to this town, he gets into an argument with this other man and he kills him. He kills that man. Then he goes into that town. A lady is weeping about her husband, being told that her husband was dead, and he ended up marrying that lady, which was his mother. So Sigmund Freud came up with this thing about this Oedipus complex, about a relationship, whether it's physical or mental, with a mother and a son. So I'm looking at his mother and him on the couch, and both of them are getting IVs after one of the Diddy parties. Allegedly. I'm gonna say allegedly because I wasn't there and I didn't know. But they showed them both getting IVs on the couch. So my whole thing about this thing is that I'm not saying that she was ever at a freak off. She was ever at that type of party. But you can't tell me Miss Janice Combs, who was always at the regular parties, didn't know nothing about the freak off parties.
You don't have to take Gene's word for it. There are actual clips of Diddy kissing his mom on the lips that have people raising their eyebrows.
Video of Diddy kissing his mother on the lips has resurfaced in the wake of his federal trafficking arrest. The rapper is seen hydrating with Janice Combs in the clip, with both hooked up to IVs. Beginning by puffing what appears to be marijuana, he introduces Janice as Mom Dukes before billing her as single and ready to mingle. After sharing the smooch, he brags about taking the 83-year-old to strip clubs and contemplates how a dating show with her at its center would go.
Yeah, my mom's gorgeous. Let me introduce you to my mom, called Mom Dukes.
Hi.
She's getting a drip with me. She's hydrating. What's up, Mom?
Everything's good, baby. I'm here with you.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too.
As more comes to light about Diddy's complicated relationships and growing list of legal troubles, the question remains, how much longer can the Combs family withstand this storm of allegations and speculation? Comment your thoughts below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss the latest tea. Until then, fam, keep it real.